Hey everyone, and welcome to another Factorio mod spotlight. I'm the Exterminator, and thank you for joining me for another week here. I do apologize for missing last week. I had a bunch of stuff come up, and my life just got crazy. But I'm glad to be back now. And today we are spotlighting the custom temporary train stops mod. Now this is one that it's been around for about 6 months, but doesn't really have all that much attention. And I think it deserves it. It was actually recommended to me by one of my stream viewers because I think it's quite helpful. Definitely a quality of life mod and something I personally would find very helpful. So based on the name, you can probably guess this allows you to set some more custom conditions for the temporary stops that you give trains. So for anyone who may not know, if you go into your train view and hold control, and you like move your mouse on a track, you can see this line appear. If you click, that sets a temporary station, which I think by default is a 30-second like timer. So it'll go there, and then after 30 seconds, it'll go back to wherever it came from if it's able to. And sometimes that's kind of annoying. I have this issue a lot where like I'll take a PAX train out to an outpost or something to do some building, and I hop out, and then the train leaves without me, because I'm building, and then I have to call another one, etc. Or like with an outpost train, I'll call an outpost train with materials to me, and it like leaves halfway through me pulling stuff out if I forget to set it to manual, and it's kind of just a pain. This helps alleviate those issues. So if we go into the mod settings here, there's basically two different things. The second one is just for a time-based thing. And the difference here is that this first one, the condition set if the player is in the train being updated, and then this one is condition if the player is not in the train, and this is a very important difference. So for the first one here, basically, if you send a train to a temporary station, you're in the train to begin with, then it will only leave the temporary station you set once this condition is met, whatever you set it to, and you are back in the train, right? So it checks this, but then also you have to be present. So like with this one, for example, it'll go to a temp station, which I'll show you in a second, and then you hop out, and it won't leave because you're no longer in the train, even if this condition is met. And then as soon as you get in the train, it's checking this again, and after 5 seconds, which I set, it would leave. Right, so there's time, inactivity, full or empty that you could do for a PAX train. I think probably inactivity would make sense. And then this one here would be more for like, outpost building, base building trains, where you maybe are already at the destination, and then you call the train to you, and you're obviously not in it. The difference here is that this condition does not require the player to be in the train. So it'll go to its temp station, and then after whatever thing you set, in this case I set 15 seconds, it'll leave, because it'll leave, or it'll leave when you get in the train. So it can be either or, where it waits for the condition, or you're in the train, but you don't have to be in the train for it to work, if that makes sense. So it'll make sense when we do these examples. So I have this PAX train example here. We have a station set. I'm just going to set a temp station down here, and I'm going to hop out immediately, and you can see it is actually set things based on the settings I chose in here. So then I hop out, and this will sit here because even though this is met, I'm not in the train, so it won't leave. Now, if I were to hop back into the train, it would then take off and go back home. And again, you can customize the seconds however you want. So there's that. And then this is a example, obviously a very small example of like an outpost. Let's just hypothetically say there's an outpost out here. This is back in my main base. I call an outposting train to me. Then what will happen is this will come here, and this will wait 15 seconds. You would probably want it to be more. I just did this as an example. Boom, boom, boom. I want to pull some stuff out for building, etc. And then it should just take off on its own after 15 seconds has passed, even if I'm not in the train. Or if I just get in the train, it will then take off as well, as you can see. So that's kind of nice. Personally, I'd probably set this to like a minute or something for an outpost train, so you have time to grab your stuff. But overall, that's basically how it works. I know the explanation was kind of confusing. It's hard to verbalize. It makes sense like in text if you look at the mod portal page, or if you just try it, it makes sense. But yeah, that's basically the mod, guys. Obviously, no research or anything required aside from trains. And there is a note here, like corner cases for it maybe not working properly. It's just a tiny one, where the train doesn't track which player's inside it. So if you're doing multiplayer and you add um, like temporary stops to a train that your friend's in or something, it will use your own settings. Like it can't be defined per player basically. But I think that's a very very small thing. There is a link in the description of this video to the Mod World page. We can check it out if you're interested. And I believe that'll do it. If you enjoyed, a like is appreciated. If you have any thoughts or questions, definitely leave them below. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and feel free to subscribe to keep up with future content. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.